Wat describes Stavar, an early cellmate and an orthodox and questioning Marxist who knew how much bread was produced in Russia in 1913 and how much in 1928, how much sugar was consumed per capita. For people like Stavar, says Wat, Marx's writings were religious texts to be memorized like the Talmud. I knew a person who was learning the Soviet encyclopedia in this way. At that time, the encyclopedia had only reached the letter K, and so he was incredibly well educated up to the letter K. What would we, who can only imagine suffering like Wat, do in such circumstances as his? In My Century, Wat demonstrates that he has the wisdom of a mystic and the deep strength of an underground river. I hope that I too could find such things within me if I needed to. I am afraid of the sun and the turning of the earth and the magic of the moon. I am afraid of dogs and beautiful women. I am afraid of the nuns of Krakow. I am afraid of the high, thin chimes of the castle at 3 a.m. I am afraid of certain birds that know too much and say too little. I am afraid of the terrible fire in the eyes of Taylor Swift. I am afraid of my children forgetting me. I am afraid of everything.
Niesamowite jest, jak ta książka chwilami wydaje się aktualna i miałam wrażenie, że nie czytam o XX wieku, ale o XXI. Mechanizm przemian opowiedzianych życiem Wata odbija się w dzisiejszym świecie nie tylko jako jakaś zapomniana konsekwencja, ale dziwna mutacja. Niestety dużo tu analogii do tego, co dzieje się wokół nas w Polsce. Wiele jest takich fragmentów, które zapadają w pamięć, wypowiedzi Wata o komunizmie, ale myślę, że warto tutaj przywołać stwierdzenie, że prawdziwa sztuka polega na śmiechu. Ludzie dzisiaj boją się bardzo wielu różnych rzeczy. Boją się o pieniądze, boją się o swoje zdrowie, boją się o przyszłość, boją się o swoją rodzinę. Myślę, że niektóre lęki są takie same, jakie miał Wat, bez względu na to, co tak naprawdę się w naszym życiu dzieje.
This is the least useless use of a poet. That's what I wrote in the poem I wrote about this book. Because a poem is just a turned fragment of noise or marking with intention in context, so it is almost nothing. And a poet, despite delusions of grandeur, is just an animal, often forgetting how remarkable language is at all. So this isn't that important. But this is a book about a person who wrote poetry, who wrote, not a poet. And his life crossed things we cannot now imagine, let alone present to those in the future. His unthinkable resilience, his heart and his humour is the best of human beings, and his life stands for something enormous, and this book stands for his life. It is a testament. This is not my favourite phrase, but it is representative of the tone of the book. Each time after we tape, I wake up in the middle of the night deluged by incidents, situations and people I forgot to mention. Some of the incidents are significant, and some aren't. If I could answer this honestly, then I would be more afraid for having done so. But I am scared of being imprisoned. I used to get into lots of trouble and worry every day that one day I would be sent to prison and my life would become a living coma, an empty slate, and I would lose my mind.